Moose call.
Home run record, Paddleheads hitting the most home runs as a team. You could go on and on about all the success that Missoula had a season ago offensively. But one thing they never did last season was hit a walk-off home run. They had one walk-off. I mentioned it during the broadcast last night. It was a walk-off double off the bat of Dean Navarez. And it was the last game of the regular season last year against Billings in this ballpark. But last night, Kevin Watley hit a laser beam home run to straightaway right field. Second pitch he saw of the bottom half of the ninth inning, and that ended things. Was off of Pesto, a hard-throwing right-hander. And I touched on it on the broadcast. There is not much question about what Pesto is out there up doing on the mound. He was just going straight country hardball, four-seam. Here you go, 90-plus mile-an-hour velocity at your ear hole. Let's see if you can hit it. And Watley, give him credit, he beat it. We touched on a very interesting prospect that the Paddleheads just brought in today, making his professional debut, is Nick Merkel. It's going to be tough to miss him. He's 6'7" on the mound, listed on the roster at 255 pounds. So a very big, menacing guy. And his college ball played at maybe a familiar place for some Paddlehead fans, as he is a Central Methodist product. Central Methodist, a NAIA school, a very strong NAIA school located in Missouri, and one none other than former Paddlehead from last year, Mason Schwellenbach, was a Hawk at Central Methodist. So Merkel and Schwellenbach were teammates in college last year during 2021. Merkel finished up his collegiate career this year in 2022. The last 2 years, very solid numbers. In his career, had 29 wins in 36 starts, went 29-5 for his career at the college level. He was a 2-time NAIA All-American, so very impressive numbers for the right-hander. It will be interesting to see what Merkel's got in his professional debut opposite the Billings Mustangs. It's kind of fitting on this trend we've seen the first couple of weeks with the season. Paddleheads bringing out a lot of rookie talent. A lot of guys the last week or so have been making their professional debuts, so it will be interesting to see how the Spokane native does on this Thursday night. And considering Merkel is from Spokane, I'm sure there are a number of his close family and friends around, with obviously Spokane being just a few miles up the road on I-90. Probably about 2.5-hour drive or so, 3 hours. Done it a few times. So it's kind of one of those drives I've never really stopped in Spokane specifically, where that's the end destination, where I've been on the road, so to speak, on my way to someplace and have stopped in Spokane as kind of a good stopping point. Because once you get by Spokane, especially if you're going west, there's not really too much past there. So you start then running into eastern Washington, Palouse, and all that stuff. But actually, last time I was running through there, I believe I was riding on a bus with the fearless leader of Missoula Broadcasting Company, Becky Smith, and Tucker Sargent with Grizzlax this spring on one of the road trips to western Washington and Oregon that we made this past spring. Very successful year for Grizz lacrosse. But we digress. We got baseball on tap for you on a Thursday night. Mustangs and Paddleheads, as Missoula looks to make it 5 in a row to start the year opposite these Mustangs. Manager Jim Riggleman of the Mustangs and Michael Schlack of the Paddleheads are meeting at home plate right now with the umpires. So while they're having a little powwow for the ball game tonight, let's start to look at the starters for the ball game this evening. We'll start with the Billings Mustangs, once again wearing their black uniforms tonight. White numbers on the front, red numbers on the back, trimmed in red and black. Their lineup, a little bit different from what we saw a night ago for Jim Riggleman. Once again, leading things off, though, to start the night is Cruz Taylor. Had a home run in last night's game. There were actually quite a few long balls in last night's ball game, 6 combined from both teams. Cruz Taylor leading things off with Mitch Piotnik once again batting second. He is the left fielder. Jalen Garcia in the 3-hole, the center fielder with Gabe Wirtz cleaning things up. Moves from the DH to first base tonight. Jackson Raper saw him as a pinch hitter in last night's game. He bats 5th. Jacob Klein, smoking hot Jacob Klein, he bats 6th with Nick Olch, the DH, batting 7th. Brian Pereira bats 8th, doing the catching. And Jordan Bart winds out the order for the Mustangs. About to have the national anthem. We'll step away for that. When we come back, we'll take a look at what the Paddleheads have cooking, and we'll get you set for the first pitch. Sammy B about ready to bring the Paddleheads onto the field for the top half of the first inning. We're getting set for game 2 of a 3-game set. Paddleheads and Mustangs, Missoula looking to hopefully get a series victory with a win tonight, having won game 1. We'll take a look at how the Paddleheads are lined up for Thursday evening. Getting things started for the Paddleheads will be the hero from last night's ball game. Solo home run for Kevin Watley in last night's ball game, so fitting that Watley will get things started on a Thursday for the Paddleheads offensively. Watley has done a good job in this leadoff spot the last week or so, and Watley will get things started at shortstop. McLean O'Connor had a big, tall left-hander out of Central Methodist University, mentioned a teammate of Mason Schwellenbach in his time in college. So it'll be interesting to see what the left-hander can do in his first professional start. He's a guy that the Paddleheads are very excited to have come in here. Looking at his numbers, mentioned some of the accolades that Merkel had while at Central Methodist, pitching at the NAIA level, a very strong program. As I mentioned, they made it all the way to the national championship game a season ago, were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs this past year. But still a very strong 2022 for Merkel, went 11-4 with a 2.29 ERA, 136 strikeouts in 106 innings compared to just 26 walks. That's very impressive to have that low of a walk total. For his career, in 36 starts, he went 29-5 with an ERA of 2.16. His best season was last year, where he went 14-0 as a starter and was a second-team All-American. Merkel was also named an honorable mention All-American for his work this past spring as well at the NAIA level. So, leading things off will be Cruz Taylor. He's in the box, righty-lefty matchup. Let's play some baseball. First pitch on the way is slowly grounded right side, right to McLean O'Connor, who flips to first. One pitch, one out. There's a good way to start your professional career for Merkel. First pitch he throws, sees a weak ground ball to the right side, and we're underway at 7:15, right on time here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. And so number 2 batter in the order, Mitch Piotnik, will now step into the box. So Taylor, Cruz Taylor already gone. Piotnik coming up now, followed by Jalen Garcia. First pitch to Piotnik, misses the outside to make the count 1-0. So looking at the defense for Missoula, Akins in left, Keaton Greenwald in center with Lamar Sparks in right. That's your outfield from left to right. 1-0 pitch on the way is a slow roller foul over by Garcia, who stands in the on-deck circle. Left side of the infield occupied by Thompson at third, Watley at shortstop. Right side sees McLean O'Connor at second with Gatewood at first. Bretton Davis behind the plate doing the catching for Merkel, who delivers 1-1. Swung on and missed. This one down below the knees to make the count a ball and 2 strikes. And there's one thing that you look at these young players. I've mentioned it with these rookies out here before. Remember, these guys have been playing baseball for a couple of months at the college level. Yes, NAIA or NCAA, whatever level of baseball these rookies have been playing in. Not the same as professional baseball, obviously, but still, it is organized baseball. These guys are going to be fresh, unlike the professional hitters where they've been training, getting ready for the season. The 2-2 is low. Make the count 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Piotnik. Had 1 hit in last night's game, did Piotnik. It was a double in his first at-bat, was then kept quiet the rest of the night. He went 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Count full with 1 out, bases empty. Pitch on the way. This one is taken for strike 3 on the outside corner. Piotnik thought it was ball 4, was starting to stride towards first base, but got rung up. That's the first professional strikeout. So far, so good for the big right-hander, Merkel. And he is one tall, lanky guy. Maybe the tallest pitcher I've ever seen on a professional mound. Wonder who's taller, him or Schlack. Here's Jalen Garcia. First pitch on the way to Jalen Garcia is tipped foul. Michael Schlack, the manager of the Paddleheads, is also right around 6'6", 6'7". And looking at Merkel and Schlack, they're both kind of built similar, too. They're big, tall, lanky guys. Merkel maybe has a little bit more, maybe he's not quite as lanky as Schlack is. 0-1 with 2 outs, no score, top 1. The pitch to Garcia is fouled away. Another typical night, swinging the bat for Garcia in the first couple of games of the season. Garcia averaged over 400. This his 12th game played. Garcia multi-hit game, went 2 for 5 last night. It's really been very consistently good bat against Missoula as well. One of the better defensive center fielders in the Pioneer League, in my opinion, also. 0-2 with 2 away. Merkel looking for a quick inning. The pitch. This is just low and outside. Nasty, what looked like a changeup that broke off the plate a little bit to Jalen Garcia, who was able to just keep the bat back. But a strikeout and a ground ball to get things started, looking for a quick 1-2-3 frame. Saw Billings jump ahead 1-0 in the early going in the first last night. 1-2 delivery to Garcia. This one fouled away again off to the right. The powerful Gabe Wirtz, the cleanup man, would be next for the Mustangs if this inning continues here in the top of the first. This ballpark really been a bugaboo for Billings, not just this season, obviously, but going back to last year as well. They have lost, going back to last year, 7 games in a row in this ballpark. The 1-2 pitch is a soft liner towards the middle, but right to McLean O'Connor, who puts it away to the right of the second base bag, and it is a 1-2-3 frame for Merkel in the top of the first. Back here, bottom of the first inning, the first pitch that Kevin Watley sees, and he launches it. Out of here. What a way to return here in the bottom of the first inning. Kevin Watley winding back the clock. Launches one down the right field line. And that is one way to get things started offensively with Kevin Watley launching one for his second home run of the year. And just like that, the Paddleheads have the lead. Wow. Well, Watley has swung the bat twice in 24 hours in game action, and he has now hit 2 home runs in 2 swings. I think that's pretty good. As McLean O'Connor will now step in. First pitch on the way to O'Connor. Misses off the plate away. Well, there's a way to come back from break. A ball get launched to right field down the line. McLean O'Connor, great night last night, went 3 for 4. The 1-0 is up high. So right out of the chute, Yasnier Laureano now pitching with a deficit, with the Paddleheads taking the lead for the first time in this bottom half of the first inning. Yasnier Laureano delivers the 2-0 pitch, and that one is a late called strike on the outside. Yasnier Laureano making his third appearance overall. 2-1 pitch is a ball popped up behind home plate. This one drifts out of play. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to O'Connor here in the bottom of the first inning. Laureano very solid in his first start. 7 2/3 scoreless baseball opposite the Glacier Range Riders, and it took one batter for Missoula to get on the board here in the first on this Thursday. The 2-2 misses up high to make the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. McLean O'Connor, a 3 for 4 night last night, including a double and a home run. The payoff to O'Connor. Swung on and missed. A breaking ball off the plate. O'Connor goes down swinging for the first out here at the bottom half of the first inning, as Cam Thompson will now step in. Let's take a look at the defense now for Billings as Thompson approaches the plate. Mitch Piotnik in left, Garcia in center with Cruz Taylor in right. That's your outfield across the board from left to right for the Mustangs. Left side of the infield sees the former Voyager, Jackson Raper at third, with Barth the shortstop. First pitch to Thompson on the way is tipped foul at the plate. Jacob Klein back at second base. We saw Gabe Wirtz as the DH last night. Wirtz at first base defensively tonight. Place of Tristan Peterson, who gets the night off. The 0-1 pitch from Laureano is skipped foul. First base side, count quickly, 0-2 on Cam Thompson. But Wirtz, the first baseman with Brian Pereira, putting down the signs for the righty Laureano. 0-2, 1 out, Sparks to follow. The pitch from Thompson, or to Thompson, misses the outside. Laureano, 24 years old, from Corozal, Puerto Rico. 1-2 pitch is a ball popped up left side of the infield. Who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Barth, the shortstop, and it is. Putting it away between second and third base for out number 2. So Thompson retired. So Laureano able to settle in after giving up the solo home run. First batter of this inning. Missoula does have the lead, though, 1-0, as Lamar Sparks steps in with 2 outs and the base is empty. And if you're the Mustangs, this is the type of spot you want Sparks to bat in. First pitch to Sparks is a breaking ball. It misses in for ball 1. Ball, no strikes the count. Sparks kept it rolling at the plate in his last game, went 2 for 4. He's had a hit in 6 consecutive games. 1-0 pitch to Sparks is down low and outside. 2 ball, no strike count. Saw a good story written by Bill Speltz in the Missoulian today, talking about Lamar Sparks' journey in professional baseball. In the Orioles system, was a high draft pick in the 5th round by the Baltimore Orioles, and touched on his battle with an injury as well. In 2019, Sparks was very badly injured, hit by a fastball. 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 3-1. 93 miles an hour right in his face, and kind of touched on his battle coming back from injury and all the things that Sparks went through after that. Sparks, a very interesting guy. He's been around baseball for a number of years, since 2018 professionally. The 3-1 pitch to Sparks is a late called strike. Make the count full at 3-2. Sparks thought it was ball 4. Looked like that pitch was a bit above the belt as well, but got the call. Sparks waits for the 3-2. This one is taken for ball 4. So Sparks thought the previous pitch was a ball outside, but does get what he wants with the 3-2. Eventually draws the walk. And this inning continues now for Nick Gatewood. But Sparks, despite being in professional ball since 2018, is only 22 years old. Was drafted out of high school, went straight to affiliated ball as Nick Gatewood steps in. Laureano sets out of the stretch for the first time, delivers the first pitch to Gatewood, and it misses high. 1 ball, no strike count. Lamar Sparks also very speedy on the bases. 1-0 the count to Nick Gatewood with 2 outs. Paddleheads lead by 1. 1-0 pitch will not come as Laureano spins and fires to first, chasing Sparks back. 1 ball, no strike count to Gatewood. Very pleasant evening here in Missoula. Nice warm afternoon today. Close to 80 degrees as this one is a rocket foul on the first base side off the bat of Gatewood. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Keaton Greenwald would bat next in this inning if Gator finds a way aboard with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Will be interesting to see if Sparks takes off at some point, as Laureano may be thinking the same thing, tossing over to first to check up on Sparks again, trying to keep him close in this instance with 2 outs. Take a look at what else is going on around the Pioneer League. A couple of very lopsided games in the Northern Division last night. 1-1 pitch, Sparks takes off, misses outside, throw down by Pereira is in time, and they gun him down. Nicely done by Brian Pereira, putting that throw right to the right of the bag in a perfect spot. And that will end this half frame. But thanks to Kevin Watley, solo home run in this half inning, the Paddleheads will head to the second, leading by a run. You are listening to Paddleheads Baseball on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com. We're back after this. Back here on a Thursday evening, a thirsty Thursday here at the Yard. It will be Gabe Wirtz getting this half inning started for Billings, who trails by a run. And first pitch, look out. The bat goes flying up the left field line. Well, yellow was a strike to Wirtz. Count is 0-1. First time we've seen that this year. I mean, that thing had some carry. That thing went past the paddlehead dugout on the third base side and hit the protective netting over the top. Or it starts over the top of the dugout. Count 0-1 on Wirtz. There's a way to open up an inning. Gabe Wirtz is going to have to get some pine tar or something. Oh, brother. 0-1 the count. The pitch on the way is cut on and missed. Pitch up above the belt. Wirtz, a big rip at it. Came up empty. Wirtz an RBI last night's game. Pretty productive night. Had a double. Went 2 for 4. Did Wirtz. One of 5 doubles he's collected this season. Has 10 extra base hits overall. The 0-2 is a sharp grounder through the middle. Base hit for Gabe Wirtz. Gets a pitch he could handle in an 0-2 count. Got a pitch elevated as well from Merkel. Maybe a bit of a mistake in a 2-strike count. And the Mustangs have the leadoff man aboard. As Jackson Raper will now step into the box. Raper appeared briefly in last night's game, a left-handed batter. Very productive hitter a season ago out of the University of Illinois for the Great Falls Voyagers. Comes over to Billings this season. Off to a bit of a slow start swinging the bat here, though, in 2022. First pitch to Raper is inside. .235 batting average for Raper. This is 9th game played. Averaged well over 300 a season ago. Also was very tough against paddlehead pitching. Not so much first couple games he's been out there in a Billings uniform. 1-0 pitch is down below the knees. Gets by Davis. Advancing to second is Wirtz. So right out of the chute, Billings has a man in scoring position here in the top of the second, looking to get that run they lost in the first inning. Paddleheads taking the lead thanks to who else after last night's heroics? Kevin Watley, a solo shot to right. So the count quickly 2-0 on Jackson Raper with now first base unoccupied. Wirtz, not good speed on the bases. Pitch will not come as we'll see a pickoff throw back to second to chase Wirtz back to the bag. Nothing happening, though, as Merkel will have to reset now to deliver this 2-0 to Raper. We briefly saw Raper in last night's game. One instance, he pinch hit for Tristan Peterson. It was a designated pinch hit scenario in the late innings. 2-0 pitch to Raper is swung on and missed. This one on the inside part of the plate makes the count 2-1. That's one thing we've seen. Noticed it in last night's game as well. A lot of swing and miss. Early parts of this game from this Billings offense. Paddleheads as a staff last night were double-digit strikeouts, 11 Ks between the 3 pitchers. 2-1 pitch is just outside to make the count 3-1. That breaking ball kind of wrapping around the plate. For Raper not offering it. 4, 5, 6 batters coming up. Mustangs went down 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. First base runner is Wirtz, who singled to lead off this frame. 3-1 the count to Raper. Wirtz, here it comes. This one, a line drive into right field, coming in as Sparks. He's going to play it on a hop. Stopping at third is Wirtz. That's a little looper single for Jackson Raper. That ball not hit hard whatsoever. But Texas Leaguer finds the outfield grass, and the Mustangs are in business now with runners on at the corners with nobody out. And a very hot hitter coming up. Jacob Klein stepping into the box. Pioneer League leading .538 batting average. He has recorded a hit in each of the 9 games that he has played for the Mustangs this year. What a night he had last night as well. First pitch to Klein is fouled off to the right. So this a golden opportunity for Billings to get themselves level or maybe even more here in the top of the second. With 2 runners on and nobody out, Missoula holds a 1-0 advantage. Klein in last night's game went 4 for 5 with 2 dingers. 0-1 the count. Klein waits on the pitch. Here it is. This one is below the knees. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. The 2 home runs hit by Klein was the first time that an opposing player has done that against the Paddleheads this year. 1-1 delivery on the way. This one, a sky-high fly ball, straightaway center field in the park. Coming in a bit on it is Greenwald. Wirtz is going to try to tag. Here comes the throw. It'll be cut off by O'Connor. So Jacob Klein does the job. Sacrifice fly, his 14th RBI of the season, second on the team. He ties the game at 1. So back-to-back hits and a sac fly nets a run for the Billings Mustangs, who knot this thing up at a run apiece. Still one runner on the bases. It's Raper at first, as this will send Nick Olch into the box. Olch not out there a night ago for Billings, a left-handed batter. First pitch on the way is a ground ball right side through the right side. A base hit for Olch. Stopping at second is Raper. Runners on at first and second. Hits getting clumped together. Now in this half inning for the Mustangs, 3 hits and a sac fly after a very quiet top half of the first. Mustangs looking to keep it rolling here now with 2 on and 1 out, bringing Brian Pereira into the box. So Nick Olch continues his solid season, came in with a .375 batting average in that at-bat. Also has had success against the Paddleheads, now 4 for 7 this season, as Brian Pereira will jump in with a pair of runners on. Another left-handed hitter, as Merkel looks at the runner at second and now will step off. Been paying quite a bit of attention to those runners on the bases. The 3 base hits in this inning. Last one from Olch was just an example of just placing a ground ball in the right spot as Pereira takes a strike. Fastball in the outer half to make the count 0-1. Pereira, quiet 0 for 4 a night ago. Does not run particularly well out of the box, so definitely a candidate for a double play ball. Sure, Merkel would take that. The 0-1 delivery is low and inside, even up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out in the frame. Mentioned Merkel's college days at Central Methodist. Teammates with former paddlehead Mason Schwellenbach. Very well, maybe checking out his old teammates' pro debut. Of course, with Schwellenbach's connection to Missoula as well. Was the starting pitcher in Game 3 of the Pioneer League Championship Series last year. Huge part of getting Missoula to the finish line. 2-1 the count with 1 out, 2 runners on. The pitch on the way is in there for strike 2, a breaking ball. Finds the outside corner to even up the count to Pereira. 1 strikeout for Merkel in that first inning. Now would be a good time for number 2 with a couple of runners on and 1 out. Number 9 batter Jordan Barth would be next, barring a double play ball. 2-2 count, target away from Davis. Here it comes. This one is a fly ball to left field. Akins doesn't hardly move a step, now a bit to the right, and makes the play for the second out of the inning. That one was way up in the air and left. Akins was almost dead frozen for the vast majority of the time that ball was in the air, and then kind of leapt to the right. There we go. At the very last second. Make that catch. Maybe for dramatic effect, or maybe he just didn't quite pick it up till then. 2 outs. Jordan Barth into the box. I believe I heard a little, who was that? 1980s artist. First pitch on the way is just outside. Michael Bolton, there we go. It's one of those I could see the guy in my head, the long locks of blonde hair, 1980s, and finally the name came to me, Michael Bolton. Bringing Jordan Barth to the plate. I don't think we've heard the mock walkout for Michael Bolton yet. That was a new one, I believe. 1-0 pitch on the way is outside. Makes the count 2 balls and no strikes to Barth. Speaking of quiet nights offensively, Barth also in that category for the Mustangs a night ago. He took an 0 for 5. Billings on the board in this half inning. They've tied things up. Score now a run apiece for both. 1-1. Still 2 runners on and 2 outs. top of the order coming up next for the Mustangs. 2-0 pitch, finds the zone on the outside to make the count 2-1. Nice crowd on hand for this Thirsty Thursday. Fans enjoying the discounted beer, $3 domestic drafts, and $4 craft beers. 2 balls and a strike to count to Jordan Barth. 2:38 start for Barth at the plate. The 2-1 is tipped foul at home plate. Now ball trickling over towards the Paddleheads dugout. 2-strike count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Series finale between these two in this ballpark will be tomorrow night. Be a fun night at the yard, a brew fest taking place, or it'll be 15 breweries on hand. You'll be able to try 30 different beers. $15 to get you in the gates. Starts at 5:30 and rolls all the way through the 7th inning. The 2-2 to Barth is a ball hit pretty well. Center field, drifting back on it is Greenwald. He has time, though. Track this one down. Few paces in front of the warning track in dead center field for out number 3. So 1 run on the board thanks to Jacob Klein. Who else stays hot? Sack fly. Level score is 1-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Gatewood will come back to the plate once again. Was in the box at the end of the last half inning, but Lamar Sparks was thrown out trying to steal to end the frame. So Gatewood back in the box against Laureano. First pitch of the at-bat is called strike at the belt. 0-1 the count. So Gatewood, Greenwald, and Bretton Davis. 5, 6, 7 spots as Gatewood pops one up on the left side. Looks playable for Barth. Shortstop drifts into shallow left, puts it away. Gatewood retired for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As Keaton Greenwald will now step into the box, tonight's beer batter. The discounted beer prices for a Thirsty Thursday, not enough. Still a chance for more discounts for Greenwald. Of course, Thirsty Thursdays every Thursday night here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Have Thirsty Thursday next week as well as Greenwald launches one down the left field line. This one hit a mile, but foul. Greenwald absolutely unloads on the first pitch he sees, but just couldn't quite straighten it out. That thing was hit a mile, well over the top of the clubhouse, down the left field line. 0-1 the count to Greenwald. Pitch from Laureano is a line drive right up the middle. He strikes it out. Base hit for Greenwald. Evidently was seeing Laureano well. Hit one towards Frenchtown, the first time foul, and then launches a base hit right up the middle. that's going to make the fans even more happy. Now it's really discounted brews. Already at special prices with the Thirsty Thursday. Now you got Thirsty Thursday with the beer batter on top of that. And if you're maybe feeling your radio shake a little bit, hearing a thundering herd, it's because it's all these folks going to get those discounted suds. Here's Brenton Davis, grounds it right back to Laureano, who bobbles it, throws to second low, and everybody's safe. Unreal. Laureano had trouble with it from the very start, bobbled it at first on the mound, double clutched, threw to second, low to Barth covering. Now everybody is safe. What looked like was about to be a double play ball, 6-3. Instead, sees an E1 charged, and Missoula has 2 on with nobody out, or 1 out rather. Batter will now be Henderson Perez. The DH, the number 8 hitter in the order. First pitch to Perez is look out, fastball up and in. 1-0 the count. Yellow. Perez went 1 for 3 in last night's game, second game in a row. That Perez in there as the DH. 1-1 tie, but Missoula with a couple of runners on, trying to break the tie. Score for the second consecutive inning off of Laureano. Pitch to Perez. 1-0 is in there. Breaking ball evens the count at a ball and a strike. Glacier Range Riders and Great Falls Voyagers in action tonight. Action in the north, along with the Rocky Mountain Vibes, facing off with the Idaho Falls Chuckers. 1-1 pitch from Laureano is up and in. Fastball missing that time makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Perez trying to get the bat going. Last couple games, average hovering around 207 as it stands. Runner in scoring position, Akins to follow. The 2-1 pitch, off-speed changeup, missing. Making the count 3-1 to Perez. Laureano in danger of walking the bases loaded in this spot with a batter coming up that had a home run in last night's game. 3-1 count to Perez. The pitch is a ground ball left side to the glove of Raper. He goes to third for 1, throws across the diamond to get Perez, and that's a double play. Nicely done for Raper to record that double play. It was all Raper for the most part, and the Mustangs are out of that jam unscathed. 1 runner left stranded. The double play nets the Mustangs a scoreless inning, and we are headed to the top of the third in a tie ball game. 1-1 is the score on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com. Just about to get started here in what is the third inning. Tonight's game, tie contest to this point. Mustangs in Paddleheads, game 2 of 3 games set. Legion's Field, Ogren Park. After the finale tomorrow, action will shift to Billings for 3 games. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Before the Paddleheads return next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, face off with the Great Falls Voyagers. So 3 more opportunities next week. See your Paddleheads in action. So come on out to the R. Go paddleheads.com. Cruz Taylor in the box to start off the third inning. First pitch on the way. Misses the outside. 1-0 the count. Merkel back to work in the third. Cruz Taylor bounced out to McLean O'Connor at second. The first pitch he saw in the top of the first inning. 1-0 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Fastball, knee high. Taylor couldn't catch up with it. Count now even at a ball and a strike. Mustangs got on the board in the second, however, thanks to Jacob Klein, a sacrifice fly to bring in a run. Tie game here in the third. 1-1 pitch is down and away. Paddlehead's run came in the first inning. Kevin Watley launching a solo home run down the right field line. 2-ball, 1-strike count to Cruz Taylor. Piotnik to follow, then Jalen Garcia. 1-2-3. 2-1 pitch on the way is a ball hit the other way, foul off to the left, over near the bullpen area on that grassy knoll. Pretty popular spot, grassy area down the left field line tonight. 2-2 the count to Cruz Taylor. So a opportunity here for Merkel, pick up his second K. The 2-2 pitch on the way is fouled off. Once again, off to the left. Count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mustangs were able to clump some hits together in the last half inning. 3 hits in a 4-batter stretch. Back in the second, bring in a run. 2-2 pitch is just outside. Full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That breaker just broke off the outside corner. Merkel hasn't shown any signs of being rattled at any point in the first couple innings. Seems like it's just business as usual. Never realized it was his first professional outing. The 3-2 pitch is laced foul over the top of the Mustangs dugout. But nice at-bat here from Cruz Taylor, leading off things here in the top of the third, trying to get this inning off to a good start for the Mustangs. Saw their leadoff man get on in the last half inning. Big part, always a big part of trying to get something started offensively, get that leadoff man on. The payoff, outside again, that's ball 4. Taylor draws the walk. First walk issued by Merkel on the hill, and that is a leadoff base runner, as Mitch Piotnik will now step into the box. Piotnik struck out looking in the top half of the first inning. The 1K to this point for Merkel on the hill. First pitch on the way to Piotnik is below the knees, taken for ball 1. So Merkel all of a sudden having a little bit of a problem finding the strike zone last couple of batters. Control was not something that Merkel had trouble with whatsoever in college. Very strong strikeout walk ratio in his career. 1-0, pitch to Piotnik. Fastball, knee high, called a strike on the outside part of the plate. Evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Very nicely placed pitch that time to Piotnik. Been piling up the Ks the last 2 games. He had 3 last night. Had a K to start things off tonight. 1-1 the count to Piotnik in a tie game, 1-1. Pitch on the way is just low. 2 ball, 1 strike count. We've seen that from Merkel at times. A number of pitches have been pretty close to the zone. Billings has done a pretty good job of not offering at anything out of the zone to this point. 2-1 pitch to Piotnik is a ball lifted into center field. Not well struck. Drifting to the left a bit is Greenwald. He puts it away. pretty shallow left center field. That is the first out of the third inning. Piotnik now 0 for 2 as Jalen Garcia will now approach the plate with a man on at first. Garcia hit a pop-up. Kind of, I guess you could say it was kind of a mix between a pop-up and a soft line drive. Kind of a ball that looked like a bloop, headed out of the box, but just kind of ran out of steam. Once it got to the right side of the infield, it was O'Connor easily making the catch to end the first. First pitch to Garcia here is a called strike with a breaking ball on the inside part. Makes the count 0-1. Don't think Garcia was very pleased with that call. Kind of took a long walk out of the box, kind of shaking his head after the pitch was called a strike. Looked to me like it was on the inside portion. 0-1, target now outside from Davis. The pitch is swung on and missed. Actually was just tipped foul at the plate. Didn't see the ball trickle out towards the mound until after the fact. It's one thing. There's one difference. Merkel, a right-handed pitcher, versus, man, I'm about to mention a left-hander. But just maybe because seeing that number 40 jersey, Merkel maybe has a little mad bum in him. Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner, a big, tall pitcher on the hill, formerly of the Giants, now with the D-back. The 0-2 pitch to Garcia is a slow roller left side. Coming in is Thompson. Only play is to first, and he does just get Garcia for the second out of the inning. Nicely done by Cam Thompson. Get the one out. Speedy Garcia was sniffing a hit, but Thompson was able to make the play. And that's the thing about Thompson defensively. Oftentimes you'll see him approaching a play like that, and it just seems like he's relaxed. He doesn't rush it whatsoever. At least that's what it looks like. It seems like he's under control approaching a play like that. As Gabe Wirtz will now stand in with a man at second and 2 gone. The first pitch is a line drive towards the middle. Sliding stop by Watley. Throws to first in time to get Wirtz. What a play by Watley, potentially keeping a run off the board. And the Mustangs are turned away in the top of the third inning. A walk to Taylor to start the frame, but no runs for Billings. Score is tied at 1, headed to the bottom of the third inning. Akins, Watley, and O'Connor coming up against Laureano. The first pitch is a high drive, right center field. This one way back, Taylor at the wall. He reaches up. This one's off the top of the wall. Akins hustling, looking for three. Here comes the throw. It's nowhere near in time. That's a stand-up triple for Jared Akins, taking on the deepest part of the yard in right center. Off the bat, thought it was going to clear the wall, but off the top of the wall, right to the left of the Missoulian sign. And that's a three-bagger for Akins to lead off this half inning. Look out, Akins is starting to heat up. Had a multi-hit game last night with a home run, launches one to right center in that at-bat. And if Akins starts to swing it, look out. He is one of those hitters that can catch fire. Here's Kevin Watley. First pitch to Watley is outside for ball one. Well, that breaks up the streak. Last two pitches he saw at the plate going back to last night were a pair of home runs. 1-0 the count. Watley got the paddleheads on the board. In the bottom of the first inning, a solo shot. Watley fouls one off to the left this time to even up the count at 1. Watley, second pitch he saw in the ninth inning last night, a solo shot to win the game. First pitch he saw to lead off the first inning, hits a home run. 1-1 pitch to Watley, outside and low to make the count 2 balls and a strike. But Missoula looking to regain the lead now with the runner on at third base, nobody out. Infield not playing in for Billings. Raper a bit in at third. The 2-1 pitch cut on and missed by Watley. Off speed from Laureano. Good changeup on the outside portion of the plate. Both teams now with 3 hits, 2 extra base hits for Missoula, a triple and a homer. 2-2 count to Watley, the pitch. This one bounced foul. Pereira barehanded it, but it was in foul ground, right near the plate. So interesting sometimes how your eyes can play tricks on you. It looks like sometimes a little tapper like that near home plate looks like it's going out towards the pitcher, when in reality it's really coming back at you. The 2-2 to Watley is cut on and missed. Breaking ball fooled Watley, goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the third. Precisely what Laureano was looking for there, an unproductive out with a man on at third base. And now McLean O'Connor will try to drive in Akins from third base. O'Connor struck out swinging against Laureano in the first inning, 0 for 1. First pitch, swung on and missed. Same type of pitch that O'Connor went down on to end the last at-bat. Was a breaking ball below the knees, 0-1. So Laureano kind of softballing Missoula last couple of batters. 0-1 delivery is a called strike at the knees on the inside to make the count 0-2. Good pitch from Laureano there. That one sunk down and in, right at the knees to O'Connor. It's now in a hole now, 0-2. Thompson on deck. The pitch from Laureano is up high. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out in the frame. Tie game at 1. Akins led off this frame with a triple. O'Connor looking to bring him home with 1 out. Beautiful night for baseball. Partially cloudy skies. The pitch on the way is cut on and missed down below the knees. And 2 Ks by Laureano. This half inning, what a nice bounce back for Yasnier Laureano after giving up the triple to start this frame. Has now put Thompson in a spot where he'll need to pick up a hit most likely to get Missoula on the board in this half frame. Three strikeouts now for the right-hander Laureano. Thompson steps in also 0 for 1. First pitch to Cam Thompson on its way. Line straight back. Foul. Looks like a fastball on the outer portion of the plate. 0-1. Thompson waiting on Laureano, working quickly. Here it comes. This one dips down below the knees. Thompson not going after that one. Count now evened up at a ball and 1 strike. This inning rolled on. Sparks would hit next. The 1-1 pitch breaks off the plate away to Thompson. 2 ball, 1 strike count now to Cameron Thompson. 2-1 offering on its way. This one sky high fly ball, dead center field. Garcia underneath it. This should do it, and it will, as Garcia puts it away for the final out of this half inning. A leadoff triple for Akins into right center field, but Lariano able to strand that runner at third thanks to a couple of strikeouts and a lazy fly ball into center. This game remains tied at 1, headed to the top of the fourth on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleHeads.com.
I am Jeff Laporte, an orthopedic surgeon and the medical director of the Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center. I'm here to welcome you to our new state-of-the-art facility in Missoula, Montana. Since we opened, the feedback from our patients has been very positive. Our goal was to build a facility that helps us provide the best surgical services by increasing access to patient care and also providing high-quality orthopedic surgical services. In addition to the usual outpatient procedures we have done for years, we can also offer joint replacement surgery and spine surgery with the option of an overnight stay. Research shows that patients' outcomes are better if they return home soon after surgery. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, and support personnel are committed to providing the highest quality of care at our new state-of-the-art facility at Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center.
Missoula Bone and Joint. Quality care from people who care.
Back here at the yard for the top of the fourth. Tight game so far, 1 run apiece. Nice work from Loriano to strand a runner at third in the last half inning to keep the game tied for the Mustangs. Jackson Raper will get this frame started off for Billings, and he takes one low for ball 1. So Raper, Jacob Klein, and Nick Olch in this half frame. 5, 6, 7 spots in Jim Riggleman's order. 1-0 pitch to Raper on the way. Misses outside again. 2 ball, no strike count. Raper singled in his last at bat. The second was the inning the Mustangs got the run in. Pitch on the way is low and in. 3 ball, no strike count to Raper. We've seen it the last couple innings. Merkel has had a few control problems. Walked the leadoff man Taylor. Was stranded in that inning in the third, but now falls behind Raper 3-0 in danger of walking the leadoff man for the second inning in a row. The 3-0 pitch finds the lower part of the zone. Make the count 3 balls and a strike. And I'm sure with the smoking hot, Jacob Klein on deck, it's a big batter for Merkel to try to keep off the bases. The 3-1 pitch is grounded slowly foul, third base side. Count full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Raper. Jacob Klein, what can you say about the production he's had? His first 2 games of this series had 4 RBIs last night, RBI already tonight. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, just tipped foul off the bat of Raper. Fans looking for a strikeout. New tradition here in Missoula, thanks to Big Creek Coffee Company, the jitter inning. Seen the peanut inning, of course, for many years in Missoula. But the jitter inning, if an opposing player strikes out, it's free coffee. Count full at 3-2. Here's another payoff. This one bounced foul again. Looks like I believe that's Kelvin Pilot, the first base coach's box. Last night's starting pitcher for the Mustangs. Count remains full to Raper. Merkel, give him credit, works his way back from a 3-0 to a 3-2. Looking to keep Raper off the bases here in the top of the fourth. Target in from Davis. Here it comes. This one lined but foul. First base side. Draper will see another 3-2 offering. It's always interesting to see how players react to situations like this. Kind of getting put out in the spot, so to speak. Fans all rooting for a strikeout. So they want some free coffee. Payoff again to Raper. Taken. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Fastball got him. There was no doubt about it. That was a pearl right on the black at the knees on the outside part of the plate. And Raper can take a seat. Second strikeout of the night for Merkel. Jacob Klein will indeed come into the box with the bases empty. And anytime this guy comes up and you got the bases empty, as a pitcher, you've done your job. Jacob Klein, as I mentioned, absolutely on fire at the plate. First pitch to Klein is up high. 1 ball, no strike count. Klein in his first year of professional baseball as well. 1-0 the count with 1 out. Due to that, Klein actually is eligible for the upcoming amateur draft in July. 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike. And that's one name to see. If it pops up, one of these affiliated clubs maybe taking a chance on Klein, drafting him at some point. Ball and a strike, the count with 1 out. Tie game, pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Breaker off the plate away, dips down below the knees. Klein couldn't catch up to it. Merkel now looking to make it 2 strikeouts in a row. Nick Olch on deck with 1 out. Target away once again from Davis. The pitch on the way is a soft liner right to Watley at shortstop. Second out of the inning. Klein was way out in front of that, was able to get a decent part of the barrel on it. At least was hit on a line, not real hard. Hit right into the defense. Watley was waiting for it. That is the second out of the inning. Klein now 0 for 1. That sends Nick Olch into the box with 2 outs and the bases empty. Olch a single, his last at bat. As pitch comes, and this one, a line drive right center field. That one's going to sink down in between Greenwalt and Sparks for Nick Olch's second hit of the evening. So it will not be a quiet 1-2-3 frame for Merkel and the Paddleheads here in the fourth, as Brian Pereira will now jump into the box with 2 outs and a man on at first base. Pereira hit a can of corn easy fly ball to Jared Akins in left field his first time. He's 0 for 1. Left-handed batting catcher tonight for the Mustangs. Billings now with 4 hits overall here in the top of the fourth. As Merkel sets at the belt, delivers the first pitch. This one grounded slowly foul, first base side. Seems like for the most part, the Mustangs have a pretty aggressive offensive approach. Seen a fair amount of swing and miss from this Billings attack. 0-1 with 2 outs, fair-sized lead for Olch away from the bag. The pitch is a line drive foul going towards the Billings bullpen. Now ricochets onto the field of play. This will be work for Lamar Sparks. Good night to be hanging out at the yard. The beautiful weather. See some fans out beyond the outfield wall in center field as well. If you got your radio on, I see you. Wave. Say hello. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Off the plate away. Down goes Brian Pereira. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, y buenos noches. Mr. Pereira, 2 strikeouts in this inning for Merkel. He's got 3 now on the contest, and this remains a 1-1 game as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning on a Thursday night. Bottom of the fourth inning, tie game, 1 run apiece. Both pitchers throwing pretty well in the first couple innings of this one. What a professional debut to this point for the right-hander Nick Merkel. 4 innings, just 1 run allowed for the right-hander as Lamar Sparks will get this half frame started against Laureano. First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Sparks, Gatewood, and Greenwald, 4, 5, 6 in this half inning. Sparks reached on a walk in his first plate appearance. 1-0 pitch from Laureano is a fastball that misses high. 2-0 quick count on Sparks. Thirsty Thursday tonight. If you didn't have enough beer tonight, come on out for the Brew Fest tomorrow as Sparks fouls one off to the right. 2-ball, 1 strike count. I'll tell you what, come for more than just the beer. It's been driving me nuts all afternoon. New feature at the ballpark this year. The 2-1 pitch is a ball hit pretty well. Straightaway left field. Drifting back is Olchen. This one is off the top of the wall. Very close to clearing that wall in left. Said Olchen was Piotnik in left. That saw that one hit off the very top of the wall, just to the left of the ESPN Missoula sign. That's a double for Lamar Sparks. His 4th double of the season overall, and he keeps staying hot. Sparks now hits in his last 7 games. Another extra base hit for Missoula tonight as well. 3rd extra base hit of the evening, as Nick Gatewood will step in and immediately calls time. The solo home run from Watley in the first, a triple from Akins in the last half inning. Now Sparks with a double in this frame. Gatewood waits for the first pitch, and he takes one outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike count to Nick Gatewood. Sparks. Michael Schlack, start of the season, described him as a complete 5-tool player. 1-0 pitch misses outside, and it's been a joy to watch Sparks really get hot over these last couple of games. It's really, the physical talent for Sparks is just off the chart. And really is a nice guy as well. Kind of a quiet dude, but super respectful. The 2-0 pitch misses outside to Gatewood, not even close. Count now 3-0. Easy guy to root for. Touched on the challenges he went through with that horrific injury he suffered while in affiliated ball in 2019, and is playing extremely well here as a paddlehead in 2022. 3-0 the count to Gatewood, with Greenwald to follow. Laureano kicks and throws. The 3-0, this one in there. Fastball with some sink finds the zone. At the knees on the outer half. Looks like Gatewood was taken all the way. Still in the driver's seat in this at-bat, a 3-1 count, with Greenwald to follow. Pitch to Gatewood is slowly bounced first base side, and this one is a foul ball called at the very last second. Gabe Wirtz thought he touched it in fair territory on the first base side. Wirtz was seemingly waiting for an eternity for that ball to kick fair, knowing that all he would have to do if it was fair was to just step on the bag at first to get Gatewood. But luckily for Gatewood in that scenario, ball kicked foul, so Gatewood will get another shot at it. Sparks at second base. The payoff is a line drive left center field. This one is going to split the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Sparks can walk home. Easily into second base is Nick Gatewood. That's a double. Back-to-back doubles in this half inning for Missoula, and Missoula has the lead back at 2-1. Gatewood, a doubles machine last season, now tied for the team lead this year as well with doubles with 6. That was RBI number 11 as well for Gatewood, good for second on the team. Must feel good for Gatewood to get a swing like that. After having a quiet night last night, Keaton Greenwald now into the box looking to keep this little rally going. Laureano, a peek to second, pitch to Greenwald is low for ball 1. A ball, no strikes the count to Greenwald. Single for Greenwald, his last time, a ball smacked right back up the middle. 1-0 with Gatewood at second. Pitch on its way as Greenwald takes a strike. Another sinking fastball on the outside portion to even up the count at 1. Few high clouds kind of moving around the area now, kind of coming in from the west here in Missoula, but not much wind at all. Kind of similar to last night in that regard. Looking at the flags in center field, hanging just about straight down. 1-1 the count to Keaton Greenwald. Pitch from Laureano is down low for ball 2. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Bottom 4. Missoula back out in front. 2-1 score. Paddleheads had the lead briefly in the first inning, only to watch Billings tie it up in the top of the second. 2-1 pitch is way inside to Greenwald to make the count 3-1. Almost hit Greenwald. Kind of had to reach his arms up out of the way. Greenwald seems to be one of the guys I run into quite a bit at the gym. In the mid to late morning, 3-1. Greenwald waiting. The pitch from Laureano is outside for ball 4. Fastball close to the corner, didn't get the call. That's 3 base runners reaching in a row against Laureano here in the 4th. And with Jim Riggleman using so many of those bullpen arms down the stretch last night, Billings used 4 bullpen pitchers last night in that close game. I'm sure that Jim Riggleman does not want to see Laureano start to tire, run out of stuff here in the early going, have to go back to that bullpen to lean on them heavily for the second night in a row. Brenton Davis now into the box with 2 men on and nobody out. Raper playing a bet in at third. The first pitch to Davis misses up high. So I wondered for a second, maybe you'd see Schlack put the bunt sign down. But not here. Davis, an RBI opportunity, had his first RBI base hit in the game last night. 1-0 pitch. This one just misses the outside corner. Laureano has kind of been nibbling around the zone, pretty close to the last couple of batters. Pitch or 2 missed badly to Greenwald in that last at-bat. Count now 2-0 to Davis. Pitch on the way is swung on, hit the other way, foul off to the left. Over the top of the grassy knoll, but I believe didn't make it completely out of the ballpark, so somebody's going to have to track that one down. Looks like some bullpen activity is going to begin for Billings down the right field line. What is a 2-1 game, Missoula a run in this half inning, still nobody out, 2 runners on at first and second. Gatewood the lead runner at second. 2-1 from Laureano is a ball hit into left center field. Moving over is Garcia. He's got plenty of time to put this one away. Gatewood will force a throw from Garcia, but will not try to test it to third. So he stays put, and that is out number 1. Henderson Perez will now be the batter. Perez will look to have more success, or better success, I should say, than what he had in his first at-bat with some runners on base. Perez actually hit into a double play to end the second inning with runners on at first and second. So a situation just like this. It was a ball hit to Raper at third. Nicely handled by Jackson Raper. First pitch from Laureano is below the knees for ball 1. Breaking ball missed. But Raper made a nice play, took it to the bag at third himself, then threw off balance off his back leg to first base to gun down Perez. So a 5 unassisted 3 double play. Not one you see too often. 1-0 pitch to Laureano from Laureano is fouled back by Perez. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Missoula started this inning 3 batters in a row reaching. Sparks a double. Gatewood right after that an RBI double to knock in Sparks. Give Missoula the lead back, and then a walk to Greenwald, where he still stand now with Gatewood at first and Gatewood, at second and Greenwald at first. 1-1 pitch to Perez is swung on and missed. Fastball up above the belt. Makes the count a ball and 2 strikes now, and Perez will look to battle in this AB. Yes, the 1 run scored in this inning. Missoula also had a golden opportunity to get some runs in the last frame as well. Looking for some more timely swings with ducks on the pond. Try to extend the advantage. 1-2 delivery from Laureano as a ball hit into right center field. Moving over is Garcia. Is actually called off by Taylor, who puts it away in right center. Moving up to third base this time is Gatewood, tagging up from second. So now runners on at the corners, but 2 outs in the inning. That will send Jared Akins into the box. Akins hit one just about as far as you can in this ballpark without seeing a home run, taking on right center field. Hit a towering shot into right center that went off the top of the wall. Hit off the Missoulian sign just to the right of the 409 sign in right center for a triple. See what he's got in this at-bat. Runner takes off. Pitch taken for a strike, and Greenwald has second clean. No throw from Pereira. Was a strike to Akins, so the count now 0-1. Laureano looks to strand a couple of runners on now at second and third in this half inning. Missoula, the 1 run in this frame, however, make the score 2-1. Looking for more, though, with 2 outs. Pitch to Akins is hit foul. 0-2 the count. 3 strikeouts to this point for Laureano on the mound. 1 run on 4 hits for Billings. 2 runs on 5 hits for Missoula. 1 error on the other side for Billings. None for the Paddleheads. 0-2. Akins will have to try to battle now in this AB. Pitch from Laureano 0-2 is way up high. A wasted pitch there to make the count a ball and 2 strikes. Fastball way above the belt. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Akins. Series finale tomorrow between these 2 clubs. Brew Fest in the ballpark. Come drink some beer and check out some Paddleheads baseball. 1-2 to Akins is cut on and missed. Pitch down below the knees. And Laureano strands a couple of runners on in this inning, keeping the Mustangs hanging around in this one. But Missoula does get on the board thanks to Nick Gatewood. An RBI double into left center field gives Missoula the lead back again. Score is 2-1 as we head to the 5th inning here on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com. Back in here, 5th inning of action about to begin with Billings trailing Missoula by a run. First pitch of the inning sees Jordan Barth roll one to McLean O'Connor at second, who fires to first in time to get Barth. One pitch, one out here in the fifth inning. Seen that a few times from Merkel on the hill tonight. Always good to be economical with your pitches, especially trying to get an out in front of the top of the order. So that's what's coming up now for Billings as Cruz Taylor will step into the box. There's some action going on around the Pioneer. Northern Division sees the Range Riders facing off with the Voyagers. First pitch on the way to Taylor misses outside. 1-0 count. Pretty tight game early on at Centene Stadium. Fifth inning sees the Voyagers leading by a run, 3-2. They're in the fourth inning in Colorado Springs. The Vibes facing off with the Chuckers. The 1-0 pitch is fouled at the plate. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike. The Vibes hanging around, trailing only 2, looking to get off the schneid. What a horrific start for the Vibe. 1-12 coming into tonight, record-wise. 1-1 pitch to Taylor, swinging and a miss. This one down below the knees, make the count a ball and 2 strikes. The Chuckers, an advantage in the fourth, 8-6 is the score. Chuckers actually lead the Northern Division by a half game over the Voyagers, having played one more game than Great Falls to this point. 1-2 the count to Taylor, who is 0 for 1. The pitch on the way is outside, fastball missing. Even count now at 2. Taylor reaching back in the fourth. The lone free pass given up by Merkel on the hill. A walk to lead off the third. Did strand that runner on, though, did the right-hander Merkel. 2-ball, 2-strike count set at the belt. Here it comes. This one misses outside to make the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Taylor's been a bit of a pesky hitter for Merkel last 2 times up. Has worked it full now, 3-2, looking to reach base with 1 out. Put the tying run on for the Mustangs, who trail 2-1. Mitch Piotnik to follow. Count full, the pitch on the way. This one is just tipped foul. Pitch on the inner half. Thought at first glance that Taylor had swung right through that one. But we'll see another 3-2 offering now. Nice crowd on hand for a Thursday night. A lot of fans enjoying those discounted brews. The beer batter got a hit as well already. Kind of double up the discount. Good night for baseball. Feels good to have summer nights out at the yard again. 3-2 the count to Cruz Taylor. Target in again from Davis. The pitch is a line drive center field. Moving back into the right is Greenwald, still on the move, and he's going to watch this one go over the wall for a home run for Taylor. Cruz Taylor saw that one just keep on carrying into center, and for the second consecutive night, Cruz Taylor can touch them all. Score is now tied at 2 apiece. On the solo home run from Cruz Taylor, his 4th of the year. Our home run number 4 and RBI number 6 for Cruz Taylor. So now this game tied at 2 once again as Mitch Piotnik steps in. First pitch to Piotnik on the way. It's a fastball missing up high. You always look at young pitcher, certain scenarios, see how they react to something happening. 1-0 pitch to Piotnik on the way. This one below the knees, and Piotnik offered at it. Strike 1, count now even at 1. As how will Merkel respond now after giving up the long ball in this half inning? You always look for young pitchers to bounce back, not let a home run ball affect them too much on the mound. 1-1 pitch is a ball broken bat. Ball hit out towards O'Connor, throws low, and Gatewood can't handle it. That will be an error charged on McLean O'Connor at second. Merkel did his job. That was a broken bat. Kind of huge job towards second base. O'Connor just threw it low to Gatewood. So that's an E4, a rare error for McLean O'Connor. As now Jalen Garcia will bat with a man on at first base and 1 out. Obviously a big difference between 2 outs and the base is empty and 1 man gone and a man on the bags. Garcia hitless so far, 0 for 2. Throw over to first to check on the runner, Piotnik. But Billings sees the long ball as a solid weapon once again. Hit 3 homers last night, another here tonight. Pitch on the way is an E-high strike. Nicely executed from Merkel to get strike 1, 0-1. Now is the biggest problem last night for starter Jason Munch. 4 1/3 for the left-hander. It seemed like he really struggled early in the count. Fell behind a number of hitters. Not so much tonight for Merkel on the hill. 0-1 to Jalen Garcia, as Merkel will toss over once again, chasing Piotnik back to the bag. The error charged on O'Connor, that's the first error of the night for the Paddleheads. Now both teams with an error apiece. 0-1 delivery is fouled away to the right. Count now 0-2 on Jalen Garcia. And after an error, sometimes the best thing you can do on the mound to quiet the waters is to pick up a strikeout. Merkel in a spot where he can try to do that right here. 0-2, 1 out, and what is now a tie game once again at 2. Thanks to Cruz Taylor. Solo shot. The 0-2 pitch is down below the knees to Garcia to make the count a ball and 2 strikes. So both teams now 1 home run apiece. Kevin Watley launching 1 in the first. Billings the home run in this inning. A ball and 2 strikes to Garcia. Merkel throws. This one breaks off the plate away to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia to this point opposite Merkel. Mentioned 0 for 2. He hit a pop-up to O'Connor his first time, then bounced out to O'Connor at second base. In his second at-bat in the 3rd inning. We're here in the top of the 5th with 1 out. 2-2 offering is a slow roller to Gatewood. He backhands it, throws to second. That's Watley. On to first. Safe at first is Garcia. So the Paddleheads do get the lead runner at second. 3-6 fielder's choice. Records the second out. Weren't quite able to get the throw back quick enough to get the double play. That was a slow roller on the first base side. Second time we've seen a ball hit slowly to the right side of the infield in this inning. As with 2 outs and a runner on at first, stepping into the box will be Gabe Wirtz. Merkel looking to make sure it's just the 1 run in this frame for the Mustangs. Pretty good speed on the bases with Garcia at first. We'll see if the Mustangs send him to try to get him in scoring position. First pitch to Wirtz is low for ball 1. There is some activity going in the Missoula pen down the left field line. There was some action in the Billings Mustang bullpen as well down the right field line earlier, but not right now. 1-0 pitch to Wirtz, misses low. 2-ball, no strike count. Believe we saw Jack Gonan, a right-hander, up in the last half inning. Throwing in the Missoula pen is Hellinger. The 2-0 pitch to Wirtz finds the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 now, the count to Gabe Wirtz. Singled in the second, bounced out to Watley. A very nice play made by Watley to end the 3rd inning, his last time in the box. Sharp grounder that Watley went into a slide and threw across for the out as the 2-1 is fouled off by Wirtz to even up the count at 2. It's almost like Watley knew we were talking about him. kind of doing some type of wild-looking stretches out there at shortstop. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bottom 5. Wirtz taking his time to step back into the box, maybe try to slow down the pace of this at-bat a little bit. Merkel's got what he wants. He's set at the belt. Target outside from Davis. Runner takes off. Pitch breaks off the plate away. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Jalen Garcia relatively easily steal of second base to get himself into scoring position, as the count also runs full to Gabe Wirtz at 3-2. Jackson Raper would be next for the Mustangs if Wirtz can get himself aboard here in the top of the 5th inning. Target in. Merkel a peek to second. The 3-2 is swung on, grounded to Thompson on a couple hops, has it on a backhand, throws across the diamond for out number 3. So a solo home run for Cruz Taylor to lead things off here in the 5th inning for the Billings Mustangs. But that's it. In this half inning, 1 runner stranded at second. Mustangs do tie it up, though. Score is 2-2, headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Back to the action here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. What is a tie game once again. Laureano back to the hill. He will have to face the top of the Paddleheads order. 1-2-3 as Kevin Watley will get his 3rd shot up at the dish to get this half inning started against Laureano. First pitch from the righty on the way is swung on and missed. Changeup right at the knees on the inside makes the count 0-1. Watley looking to jump on that first pitch like he did in the 1st inning. Came up empty. A 1 delivery to Watley is a bunt. 3rd base side. This one will kick foul, though. Not a bad idea from Watley. Touched on the home run power the last 2 games from Kevin Watley. Led off the bottom of the 1st inning with a solo job. Give the Paddleheads an early advantage. Especially after taking a swing in that at-bat. Shirley caught the Mustangs with their pants down defensively, so to speak. That ball stayed fair. Watley could have walked to first. Watley with a walk. Kind of little alliteration there. 1 point for Jeff. 0-2. Pitch to Watley. Is the ball hit the other way? Foul off to the left. Count remains 0-2 on Kevin Watley. O'Connor to follow, and then Cam Thompson. This half inning for Missoula. No action going in either bullpen to this point. Laureano delivers the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball. It's high and outside. Ball and 2 strikes the count to Watley now. Pitch count creeping up there a bit for Laureano. Next will be 70. The 1-2 pitch is outside, even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Laureano, 5 hits, 2 walks allowed through 4 innings. Does have 4 strikeouts on the hill. 2-2 the count to Watley. Laureano delivers the pitch. This one fouled away again by Watley. So after falling behind quickly, 0-2, Watley fouled off some pitches and has been battling in this AB opposite Laureano, looking to get a leadoff man on the bases. The 2-2 pitch again is grounded left side towards the hole, backhanding it, throwing it to first, and not in time. Watley beats it out. Barth, a good shot at it at short, throwing off balance on a backhand, but wasn't quite able to get that throw over there in time. And quite honestly, I was surprised that play was as close as what it was. Speed of Watley compared with a ball hit towards the hole at short, but still an infield single for Watley. Second time aboard for Watley, now 2 for 3 in the ball game. McLean O'Connor will now look to solve the puzzle of Laureano. First pitch, Watley bluffs to second, does not go. Throw back to first, not in time to get Watley. It was a breaking ball, called a strike to O'Connor at the plate, so 0-1. In my opinion, that was an ill-advised throw from Pereira behind the plate. Throw back to first, had 0 chance to get Watley. I said Watley bluffed to second, did not go. Another throw over now to check on Watley. Count is 0-1 on McLean O'Connor. Mention O'Connor trying to solve the puzzle that is Laureano. He struck out swinging in his first 2 plate appearances, 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat. Leadoff man aboard at first. Watley standing there with nobody out in the 5th. Thompson to follow, 0-1 pitch. This one misses badly, off the plate away. Watley had a large secondary lead. Pereira had a long look over there again. So Watley kind of toying with Pereira behind the plate. And so oftentimes when you see a catcher make a throw back to first, scenarios like we saw earlier, the 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Pereira to make the count 2-1. So many oftentimes you'll see a catcher look to show off the arms, so to speak, to gun down runners on the bases, throwing behind the runner, and so oftentimes it doesn't end up going well for the catcher. See balls get thrown down the line, ricochet off the base, hit the base runner. There's about 100 bad things that can take place. O'Connor waiting on the 2-1. Will not come as another throw over to first takes place instead. 2-1 is the count to McLean O'Connor. Series finale coming up tomorrow between these two clubs. Hope to see you at the yard. Drink some beer. It's the 2-1. Misses low and away. 3-1 now, the count for O'Connor in the driver's seat in this at-bat. Action going once again in that Billings bullpen. Believe the man throwing is Gonan again. Yes, it is. 3-1 is the count to O'Connor. Runner takes off. This one taken for ball 4. Up above the belt. That's 2 base runners on in a row for Missoula. They're in business with the heart of their order now coming up. As Killa Cam Thompson will step into the box. Here comes manager Jim Riggleman out of the dugout. Looks like this is going to be it for Laureano here in the 5th inning. So Laureano will depart with no outs here in the 5th, running out of gas in this frame. Pitching change taking place for the first time in the ball game. Tie game 2-2. Paddleheads have a couple of runners on. Mustangs going to the pen. We'll step away and come back after this. Back to the action here in the 5th inning. Pitching change taking place right now for the Billings Mustangs in what is a tie game. Missoula seeing the first 2 batters of the 5th inning get on base. Watley reaching on an infield single, and McLean O'Connor walking to set up this situation for Cam Thompson. Pitcher on the mound, Jack Gonin. Big left-hander out of Ayersville, Ohio. Did appear in this ballpark the opening series of the season. Gonin looks to second base, thinking about a throw, does not throw there as Thompson bounces one to the left side. Klein flips to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. So a 4-6 fielder's choice sends McLean O'Connor back into the dugout, first out of the frame. So a 4-6 fielder's choice records the first out. Thompson now 0 for 3, has been quiet. First 2 games of this series, just 1 hit in 7 plate appearances. Lamar Sparks now into the box with a man on at third and 1 out. Runners on at the corners. For Jack Gonin, this is his 7th appearance already out of the bullpen for manager Jim Riggleman, who has been used quite a bit. Pitched an inning and 2/3 in 2 separate appearances against the Paddleheads the opening week, as Sparks swings and fouls one off to the right to make the count 0-1. Pitched a scoreless inning on opening night, gave up a couple of hits, struck out 2. Then the next game, 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. It hasn't allowed a run since. 4 consecutive scoreless appearances after that. 0-1 pitch, runner takes off to second base. No throw as Thompson strides into second easily. Count now even at a ball and a strike to Lamar Sparks. First base now open in this scenario, so the Mustangs can think about using that if they choose to. We have a brief stoppage as the umpires shift their positioning, with runners on now at second and third instead of runners on at the corners. 1 out in the frame. The pitch to Sparks is low and outside to make the count 2-1. Bottom 5, tie ball game. Game tied at 2. Pretty low scoring affair. Looks like Sam Hellinger is getting ready to take the ball for the 6th inning, so maybe the end of the road for the starting pitcher, Mark Merkel. 2-1 with 1 out. Pitch to Sparks is good spot. Strike on the outside corner from Gonin. Evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Sparks has been on base twice, a double, would score a run also in the 4th inning, part of back-to-back doubles to bring in a run. Trying to put the ball in play to get a run in. The 2-2 pitch to Sparks is a laser into center field. Garcia moving back, reaches up and makes the catch. Going back shoulder, but coming in to score from third base is Watley. Paddleheads do get the lead again at 3-2, but what a nice play on the move by Jalen Garcia in right center. Jumping up and making a backhanded catch to keep that one from going to the wall. If he doesn't make that catch, Sparks can fly. He may have been able to beat that one out for a triple. But as it stands, the Paddleheads will take it. Sack fly. Lead back to 1 once again. 3-2 now the score. As Nick Gatewood steps in, he swings and misses at a breaking ball down below the knees to make the count 0-1. What that does do with Missoula getting the lead does make Merkel eligible for a win once again. The 0-1 delivery is in tight, evens up the count at a ball and a strike. We do not know if Merkel's night is over. Just have been watching Hellinger throw in the bullpen since the last half inning. Gatewood to this point, 1 for 2. 1-1 delivery is low and off the plate. 2-ball, 1 strike count to Gatewood. You can, however, close the book on Laureano not responsible for any runners on base any longer. 2-1. Pitch on its way. This one cut on and missed. Another breaking ball below the knees. Even up the count at 2. So Laureano, 4 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits. All 3 of the runs were earned. 2-2, pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses the outside part of the plate this time. Count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Gatewood. Keaton Greenwald would get a chance to swing it in this half frame if Gator can get aboard. 3-2, here it comes. This one, a high fly ball, shallow center field. Racing in is Garcia, still on the move. He makes the catch. Coming into left center field to retire the side. But Missoula does get on the board to regain the lead here in the 5th inning thanks to Lamar Sparks. Sacrifice fly makes the score 3-2 as we enter the 6th inning here on 102.9 ESPN and GoPaddleheads.com. Returning to the action here as we're into the 6th inning on a Thursday evening in what is a 1-run game. It's been a pretty tight contest from start to finish to this point. New pitcher is on for the Paddleheads as the first pitch of this inning to Jackson Raper will be taken on the inside, or no, not on the inside for a strike. Misses the inside for ball 1. Coming in out of the bullpen, Sam Hellinger. It's been a pretty common bullpen option to this point for manager Michael Schlack. Comes in relief of the starter Nick Merkel. Night is over after 5. 1-0 pitch to Raper is knee high, strike 1. Good spot on the outside corner to even up the count. Even count to Raper at a ball and 1 strike. To this point, Raper in the ball game 1 for 2. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. For a second thought that was a foul tip into the glove of Davis, but not indicated. 1-2 now the count to Raper. Struck out quite a bit with great balls a season ago. 1-2. Pitch on the way is a ball lifted but foul. Left-hand side. Raper struck out looking in his last at-bat, singled in his first plate appearance for Hellinger. on the mound. This is his third appearance overall. 1-2 offering is fouled back. Hellinger, 3 1/3, 6 strikeouts for the right-hander, looking to bounce back a bit from his last outing. One, two, another one coming to Raper, and that one is spoiled again, off to the left. Actually did bounce back from his last outing and was thinking of the outing on June the 2nd when Hellinger gave up a couple of runs in an inning and a third. Last outing, however, pretty solid. 2 innings, shutout ball, 3 strikeouts for the right-hander. Raper waits, setting at the belt. Rocking from the first base side. Here it comes, the 1-2. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball down below the knees. Out on strikes is Raper for out number 1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Final line for Merkel. Pitched 5 innings complete, 2 runs, 5 hits. Both of the runs for Billings were earned. Struck out 3. So a good debut. Here's Jacob Klein with the bases empty. Pitch on the way is just low for ball 1. Didn't miss by much. Mentioned it the last time he came to the dish. Considering how well Klein is swinging it, definitely good to have him up with the bases empty. The 1-0 pitch to Klein on the way. Fastball just missed. Hellinger is ticked off that was not called a strike. Kind of walking now behind the mound. I can see why he'd be a little frustrated. That one did look to be right there on the outside portion of the plate. Well located fastball. But didn't get the reward for it. Jacob Klein swings and pops one up. Behind home plate. Davis loses the mask, drift towards the line and makes the play. Did the pop-up dance that time, but anytime you can get Klein to hit a pop-up, that's a win on the mound. And Klein will be sent back to the dugout for the second time. Quiet so far, 0 for 2, does have an RBI in the game. But overall, the Paddleheads pitching has done a very nice job with Jacob Klein as Nick Olch will jump into the box with 2 outs and nobody on the bases. Trailing by a run is Billings. Hellinger looking to get his team back into the dugout, leading that way. The pitch to Olch is a fastball for strike 1 on the outside. Olch productive night so far. 2 hits, 2 singles, 2 for 2. 2 of the 5 hits for Billings overall. 0-1. Pitch to Olch is on its way. This one is down below the knees, skips away from Davis. Nobody aboard, so that inconsequential. 1-1 the count. Take a peek around the Pioneer in a little bit when we have time again. No action going in the Mustang bullpen. So that probably means more work for Gonin next half inning as the 1-1 pitch is fouled away to the left. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Nick Olch. Brian Pereira would be next for Billings if Olch can get aboard here with 2 outs. A ball and 2 strikes the count to Olch. Hellinger is ready. Rocks and throws the 1-2. This one just low for ball 2. McLean O'Connor at second thought that was strike 3. You could see him kind of jump towards the dugout on the third base side. The 2-2 pitch to Olch is a hopper to short. Watley gets a good hop, throws across high, but Gatewood gets the tag at first base. Nicely done by Nick Gatewood, laying down the tag to get the final out, and it is a quiet 1-2-3 frame for the Mustangs. To the peanut inning we go, the bottom of the 6th. Missoula leads by 1 and will look to make it more after this.
Hi, I'm Dave Lapham. I was motivated to have surgery because I can no longer do the things I love doing without the pain. I had a total knee joint replacement surgery, and I'm so happy with the care that I received. The surgery went so well, I was up and walking within a few hours and went home the next morning. I would recommend Missoula Bone and Joint to anybody who wants to keep being active without the constant pain. I loved having surgery at an outpatient setting so I could recover at home, and I can't wait to get back to my outdoor activities.
Fitting as we enter the bottom of the sixth that the beer batter will lead off the peanut inning, with Missoula leading 3-2 in the bottom of the sixth. The first pitch to Keaton Greenwald is a strike with a breaking ball. In the outside portion, turning here in the bottom of the sixth, Missoula leads 3-2. Pitch on the way, 0-1 is down. Breaking ball, they do appeal the first. No swing. At least Pereira was looking for an appeal the first, but it never came. That was kind of funny. Pereira, for the longest time, was looking for an appeal the first. He got the cold shoulder. No appeal needed, apparently. 1-1 the count to Greenwald. The pitch on the way from Gonin is a ground ball right side. Sliding stop at first by Wirtz. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 1. Nicely done by first baseman Gabe Wirtz, going down to a knee to get that ball at first base to keep Greenwald off the bags. Leadoff man is gone here in the bottom of the sixth inning, as Greenwald is kept off the bases for the first time. He's now 1 for 2. It's Brenton Davis. Will now jump into the box. Davis, quiet so far. Pitch on the way. This one is low he's called a strike late. Count 0-1. Davis hit a fly ball to Garcias last time. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and a foul tip into the glove of Pereira. Count quickly, 0-2. So Gonin, off to a quick start in the frame, delivers the 0-2. This one is just low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. That's the one thing with Gonin on the hill. He works pretty quick on the mound. Davis stepped out for a half second just to slow it down just a bit. 1-2 pitch on its way. This one cut on and missed. A breaker on the inside. Down goes Brenton Davis for out number 2. Here in the bottom of the sixth. So Gonin quickly trying to put out a fire here in the bottom of the sixth inning, the peanut inning, trying to disappoint the fans. It'll be left up to Henderson Perez now with 2 outs and the bases empty. The first pitch already on the way. It's a breaker that misses up. Gonin seems like he's throwing more curveballs in this inning than fastballs. Working well with that curve. The 1-0 pitch breaks off the plate. 2-0. Henderson Perez, 0 for 2, hit a fly ball out to Taylor and right his last time in the box. Missoula leads by a run, 3-2. Looking for some life here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-0 to Perez. Way inside, it hits him. Fastball getting away from Gonin. That will put Perez on first. So a hit batsman does give Missoula a little bit of life in this inning. Perez looks to be a little bit nicked up. That one looked like it hit him near the rib area. So hopefully that's not cause for concern. As looks like Jim Riggleman's coming out of the dugout. This may be it. Could see the Mustangs go to a left-hander in the bullpen. I would imagine that's what they're doing here, with the left-handed hitting Akins coming up. Jim Riggleman playing the averages, so to speak. And that indeed is what's going to happen, as Corey Wills, the former Ogden Raptor, is going to take the hill. Now for the Billings Mustangs, trying to get the last out of this frame and maybe continue on. But Wills, who has faced the Paddleheads as both the Raptor and a Mustang, who pitched in the first series of the year as well, did Wills, will come on now, making his 5th appearance out of the bullpen. Wills pitched on opening night against the Paddleheads. Couple of walks, but scoreless over 2/3 of an inning. Overall, in just 2 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, ERA north of 10, but with those limited innings, anytime you give up a run, you're going to see your ERA balloon. And so far, Riggleman oftentimes has used Wills just like this in kind of a situational lefty scenario. Mentioned the 2/3 of an inning appearance against the Paddleheads. Also pitched just 2/3 of an inning in a game against the Owls. His last appearance back on June the 4th. Faced one batter, 1/3 of an inning, struck him out. So Wills will be asked to do something like that here, facing the left-handed batting Jared Akins, who's already tripled once in the game, 1 for 2. If you can't join us here at the Yard tomorrow, we'll be back with you, 102.9 ESPN, for the series finale between these two clubs. But if you can make it out to the ballpark tomorrow, definitely a good night to come out. The Brew Fest taking place. Wide array of different beers to try from local breweries from around Missoula and the state overall. So a good night to check out some baseball and some beer. First ever baseball brew fest here in Missoula. Should be a fun night at the Yard. Hopefully the weather will cooperate as well. Get your tickets, go paddleheads.com. You can also come out to the Yard next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as Missoula will be hosting the Great Falls Voyagers for a 3-game set here at Allegiance Field at Ogren Park. A couple of fun things happen in that week as well. Thursday to wrap it up. Also looking forward to next week. Paddleheads will face off with the Glacier Range Riders for the first time in 2022, and it'll be the first look for Missoula at the new digs in Kalispell. They've built a multi-million-dollar brand new ballpark out in the Flathead Valley. My understanding, there's still a few little things that need to be completed with the ballpark, as to be expected, but they're ready to play ball on the field, and I'm excited to see the new ballpark. That's next weekend. Returning to the action now, Jared Akins in the box. He takes low and away for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike count to Akins, who tripled off the top of the wall in the 3rd, struck out against Laureano in the 4th, 1 for 2. Batting here with 2 outs and a man on at first. The pitch on the way is fouled away. Even count at a ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Missoula out in front 3-2. They have led or took their first lead, I should say, in the first. Saw Billings tie it in the second. And then runs in the fourth and fifth. Saw Missoula take the lead back. 1-1 to Akins on the way from Wills. Fastball up and in. Makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Evidently, the Mustangs are going to stick with Wills, at least for a couple of hitters, as there's nobody warming in the bullpen as of now. Watley to follow if Akins gets aboard. The 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball, slowly tapped foul. Strike 2 on Akins. Count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Paddleheads, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Billings Mustangs. Billings looking to fight back in these last couple innings, looking to knot up this series at a game apiece. 2-2 to Akins. The pitch to Wills is up and in. Almost hit Akins with a fastball. That's the last thing he would have wanted to do on a 2-strike count. Put runners on at first and second. But instead, count runs full to Akins. Perez, the runner at first, will most likely be on the move on this pitch. Wirtz is now going to come off the bag, play behind the runner. Perez takes off. This one hit the other way, but foul by Akins. Akins has been looking to go oppo, it seems, the last couple of games. The home run he hit in last night's ball game was an opposite field home run to left. 3-2 is the count to Akins, looking to battle away with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Paddleheads fans clinging to hope in the peanut inning as Akins fouls another one off to the left. Perez will have to saunter on back to first. Inning began with a couple of quick outs. Greenwald bouncing out. Davis with a strikeout, where Perez reached on a hit batter. Payoff pitch on the way is swung on and missed. At a breaking ball down below the knees, down goes Akins for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs in the peanut inning tonight. We're going on to the top of the 7th with Missoula still leading by a run. 3-2 is your score on 102.9 ESPN Radio Missoula and GoPaddleheads.com. Coming up for the Mustangs with Pereira, Jordan Barth, and then top of the order with Taylor, Bruce Taylor coming up. Hellinger still out there for Missoula. First pitch is low and in. First pitch of this inning makes the count 1-0. Pereira, quiet 0 for 2. Been quiet this whole series to this point, offensively swinging it. The 1-0 delivery to Pereira on its way. This one, a ball hit pretty well, but foul down the right field line. Even count, a ball and a strike to Brian Pereira. Hellinger and the rest of the Paddleheads pen looking to take this one home, trying to preserve a win for Nick Merkel in his first professional start. 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball, finds the outside for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes the count. We saw last night, Missoula in the late innings went to Cody Thompson, so that's one name you probably won't hear tonight coming out of the Paddlehead pen. 1-2 pitch to Pereira on its way. This one, a high pop-up, foul ground. Thompson gave it a look, but this one is about 4 rows up into the seats on the third base side. Looks like that one kind of found a little hole in the crowd on the left side. 1-2 the count to Brian Pereira, trying to get on base to lead off this frame for the Mustangs. Hellinger comes home. 1-2. This one popped foul once again. Almost directly behind home plate. Going off to the left just a bit. Billings have not been on the board since the solo home run from the man that stands in the hole in this inning. 1-2 pitch is low and in for ball 2. Good pitch in that spot. 2-strike count. Pereira not hacking, though. Chasing one out of the zone. So for the second night in a row, this does become a battle of the two bullpens coming down the stretch. The 2-2 pitch is a ground ball. First base side stays fair into the glove of Gatewood. Will take it to the bag at first for out number 1. Kind of took a funky hop right at the end before it was gloved by Gatewood. And it kind of skipped to the right just a bit. So I had to pause for a second to see if it kicked foul at the last moment, but luckily for Missoula, it did not, and Gatewood was easily able to saunter over to first to record the out, as Jordan Barth will jump into the box. Barth hitless to this point, 0 for 2. Rocking from the first base side, here comes Hellinger to the plate. This is a fastball that misses outside. 1-0 the count. 3-2 game in the top of the 7th. Barth waits on the 1-0. Here it comes. Fastball gets the call this time. Count evened up at a ball and a strike. One and one with one out. Barth waiting. Target outside. The pitch on the way is down below the knees to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Interesting how 2 games have kind of lined up differently. Took Missoula till the 9th inning to get the lead last night, where Missoula's been out in front for the majority of the night in this game. The 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball. Good pitch on the inside part of the plate. Stealing strike 2. Count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor in the top of the order to follow. The 2-2 pitch is on its way. This one a ground ball sharply hit right to O'Connor at second. On the second hop, flips to first in time to record the second out of the inning. Barth 0 for 3. And once again, the bottom part of this Billings order, this was an issue last night as well. Not seeing much production from the bottom part. Nick Olch in the 7th spot. He's had a pretty nice night, a couple of hits. But now Pereira and Barth are combined 0 for 7 in the ball game. And in the series, they're combined 0 for 16 at the plate, as Cruz Taylor comes up with the bases empty. First pitch to Taylor is fouled straight back. Fastball on the inside. Taylor was on it, 0-1. Taylor tied the ball game up briefly in the 5th inning. hit a shot to dead center field, his second home run of the series. Second night in a row that Taylor has left the yard. Overall is 1 for 2. 0-1 pitch on the way is a fastball missing off the outside, even up the count. The Mustangs offense really was rolling coming into this series, scoring in double digits oftentimes. The 1-1 pitch to Taylor is apparently inside for ball 2. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Could tell that Hellinger wanted that one on the inside part of the plate. It's one of those pitchers that will wear his emotions on his sleeve. The pitch on the way, 2-1, is taken for strike 2. Not so much in a way where it's disrespectful, but kind of think Jake Peavy from a number of years back, the former Cy Young Award winner. 2-2 the count to Taylor. The pitch on the way is a little cue shot out towards second base. Gloved by O'Connor, throws on to first in time to record the final outs of this top half of the 7th inning. All quiet for the right-hander Sam Hellinger in 2 innings, 6 up, 6 down. As Missoula remains out in front as we are about to get going in the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch, 7th inning stretch time at the yard. Will return after this. Fans up, stretching their legs a little bit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Missoula with the 1-run advantage. Got the top of the order coming up. It will be Wills going back out to the mound for more action out of the Mustang bullpen, as Watley will step into the box for the 4th time. Another multi-hit night for Watley. Went 2 for 5 a night ago, and 2 for 3 in this game to this point. Led off the ball game, or led off the bottom of the 1st with a home run, and Watley hits a ground ball, fair ball down the left field line. Watley is going to try to stretch it to a double. Throw coming in is not in time from Piotnik. Good effort from Mitch Piotnik. Got that ball right on the foul line in the corner, right in front of the foul pole, and tried to gun down Watley, but Watley was able to leg it out for a double. Watley, that's 3rd leg of the cycle. Have to see if Watley's spot in the order comes up again in this ball game. Watley's got a home run, single, and a double. Needs the triple for a cycle. So what a couple of games offensively for Kevin Watley. Manager Jim Riggleman came out of the dugout. For what reason now, I'm not sure. Looked like Riggleman was going to go out for a pitching change, but now it looks like the training staff is going out towards second base to check up on a Billings player, and looks like it's actually, is that Piotnik coming off the field? I believe it is. So Mitch Piotnik, the left fielder, must have gotten shaken up on that play out in the outfield. We're going to now see, it looks like Gabe Wirtz, who was playing first, is now going to go out and play left. So that is a big factor here coming down the stretch, as I believe the replacement for Piotnik will be Tristan Peterson. Yes, it is. So Piotnik out due to the injury in this half inning. So Wirtz goes out to left field, and into the game at first is now Tristan Peterson, with McLean O'Connor into the box with nobody out and a runner at second. Wills delivers, and this is a sharp ground ball, but right to the shortstop, and he boots it. Booted by the shortstop, throw home with Watley trying to stretch it, and he is tagged out at the plate. Not a smart base running decision there, and that hurts Missoula in this half inning. Barth, the shortstop, booted that grounder at short. Watley tried to stretch it from second to come home, but the Mustangs were able to gun down the runner at the plate in that instance to get it out in that spot. So that will be an error charged to the shortstop Barth, but they're still able to get a 6-2 put out on the play, as Cam Thompson will step into the box with a man on at first, and now one out. That a big mistake in this half inning, as the first pitch to Thompson misses inside. So that spot, it would probably be a little smarter to be conservative, stay on the bases. There's nobody out in the inning. Keep the ball rolling, so to speak. As this one is in the dirt to Thompson from Wills, makes the count 2-0. More action going in that Billings bullpen down the right field line. Could see Jim Riggleman go to the bullpen after Thompson's at bat. Sticking with Wills here, keep that lefty-lefty matchup in play. 2-0 pitch to Thompson is fouled straight back. Challenge fastball from Wills. Thompson was right on it at 2-0 count. Thompson pretty quiet to this point, 0 for 3. Hasn't been heard from much in the first two games of this series to this point. Just one hit and 7 at-bats. 2-1 count, pitch to Thompson is fouled away. A breaking ball. Fouled off to the left a bit, off the bat of Thompson to even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Some action rolling in the Missoula pen. John LaRosa, the hard-throwing right-hander, is up. Solid couple of innings, though, from Sam Hellinger. 6 up, 6 down. 2-2 pitch is hit to left field. Drifting back on it is Wirtz on the warning track. He reaches up and makes the catch going into the wall. Trying to hustle back to first is O'Connor. The throw is wild, out of play, near the Billings dugout. Lot going on that play. What a great catch in left field by Gabe Wirtz. Slamming into the wall in left, taking extra bases away from Cam Thompson. As that will bring Lamar Sparks into the box. And then, on the relay, trying to get O'Connor, who had to race back to first base, thinking that was going to be off the wall and left. Trying to double him off. The throw went out of play, so that allowed O'Connor to move up to second base on the wild throw. Lamar Sparks looked like he was going to get to swing the bat, but instead, with first base unoccupied, the Mustangs instead elect to put Sparks on for free with an intentional base on balls. Makes sense because now coming up is Nick Gatewood, a left-handed batter. Pitch from Wills is a ground ball left side. Barth has it at short. He'll take it to the bag at second. A 6 unassisted records the final out of this half inning. Besides some action on the bases, Missoula unable to get a run in this inning. And they've had it happen a few times the last. Eighth inning about to begin. Here at the yard, Missoula, Montana, Legion's Field, Ogren Park. John LaRosa has come on to pitch the top of the eighth. New York native. 6th appearance out of the bullpen. First pitch on the way, a called strike on the outside portion to Tristan Peterson, batting now in the second spot in the order. Mitch Piotnik had to come out of the game in the last half inning due to an injury, so it's Peterson batting now. This spot, 0-1 delivery on the way. Breaking ball, called strike on the outside. Peterson started at first base last night. Peterson took a 0-for-2, walked a couple of times. 3 for 30 overall swinging it. The 0-2 pitch on the way is fouled. So Peterson off to a slow start offensively this season. Got the night off tonight. It's planned to. Piotnik, we've touched on how good he's been offensively for Billings this year. Average well over 400 coming into tonight. That weapon now gone the rest of the way. 0-2 pitch on the way is up and in from LaRosa to make the count a ball and 2 strikes. So with Piotnik out, it's Peterson now with Garcia and Gabe Wirtz coming up. 2-3-4 with the Mustangs trailing by 1. 3-2 the score here in the top of the 8th. LaRosa definitely a strikeout arm. 10 Ks in 5 innings to this point, and he's got another one. Chasing a fastball was Peterson for out number 1. LaRosa sure has looked solid in his first handful of appearances for Missoula this year. He's 1-0 on the mound in 5 appearances. 10 strikeouts, now 11 in 10 1/3 innings pitched. Faced the Mustangs actually twice the opening series of the season. Pitched an inning and 2/3 in 2 separate appearances, struck out 4. Was the winning pitcher in Game 2 back on May 26th as Garcia takes up and in on the first pitch from LaRosa. Make the count 1-0. Give the Mustangs credit. They've been able to limit the damage in the last couple innings, keep Missoula off the board. The 6th and 7th, 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air. Pretty good distance going down the right field line. Gone if it's foul, or fair rather, and it is not. Is a foul ball off the bat of Jalen Garcia. Had good carry, plenty of carry down the right field line. Right-handed batting Garcia using the power of La Rosa, but wasn't able to straighten it out down the line. 1-1 now the count to Jalen Garcia, who is 0 for 3 to this point. Hit into a fielder's choice as last time. The 1-1 pitch is a half swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Down below the knees. La Rosa, a very intense pitcher on the mound. 1-2 the count. One of those guys you don't want to necessarily talk to before the game. Fear that he's going to come after you with all that intensity he's got. 1-2 pitch, fastball, strike 3. Throws it right through the glove, seemingly, of Davis. Woof. That was country hardball at its finest for the second strikeout of the inning for La Rosa. Man, that one had some oomph to it. Down goes Garcia. He's got an 0 for 4 going. So that will send Gabe Wirtz into the box. Here in the top of the 8th with the bases empty. First pitch to Wirtz is below the knees for ball 1. We've touched on the power numbers for Wirtz. Pioneer League leading 6 homers coming into the game tonight. With the Mustangs trailing by 1 in the late innings, this is exactly the type of spot you want him batting. The 1-0 pitch, fastball called strike on the outside. Of course, the best thing Wirtz can do in this spot is tie the game with 1 swing. Cannot do any more damage. 3-2 advantage for Missoula in the 8th. La Rosa delivers the 1-1 swing and a miss with a breaking ball. La Rosa trying to blow down the Mustangs in this half inning and strike out the side. Continue what has been a fabulous night so far for the Missoula bullpen. 1-2 the count to Gabe Wirtz. Open stance. Target outside from Davis. La Rosa fires. Fastball. Just misses the outside corner. Good pitch. I thought that was strike 3. So did the scoreboard operator. Put the number 3 up there. But was called a ball just off the plate. Count even at 2 to Wirtz. La Rosa delivers. Swing and a miss at a fastball on the outside part of the plate. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts. La Rosa strikes out the side. What a night for the Missoula bullpen. Paddleheads still on top by 1. 3-2 the score. We're back with more after this. Keaton Greenwald will look to give the Paddleheads some breathing room in this half frame. Billings going back to their bullpen to start this inning. Right-hander Kenny Stewart has taken the ball. Start this frame off. First pitch on the way to Greenwald is a breaker that is outside for ball one. 26-year-old right-hander Kenny Stewart, 6'2" on the mound out of San Diego, California. He's yet to face Missoula this year. Made 3 appearances overall. 1-0 pitch on the way to Greenwald, misses down below the knees. 2-ball, no strike count. Played his college ball 3 seasons from 19 to 21 at Marysville State University. That's an NAIA school. Pretty good numbers as a reliever. Career 2.27 ERA. 2-0 pitch is a bouncing ball, third base side, gloved by Raper. Throw off balance to first in time to get Greenwald. Nice play at third base by Jackson Raper. Throwing from deep third off balance. Greenwald moves pretty well up the line as well. But Greenwald retired for out number 1. Greenwald now 1 for 3 in the game. Bretton Davis now into the box with 1 out and the base is empty. Neither team has been on the board since the 5th. Both teams tacked on a run in that inning. First pitch on the way in this at-bat from Stewart is in tight for ball 1. As I mentioned, Missoula did have a couple of chances to get a run in after the 5th, including the last half inning, the 7th. Offensively, 1-0 delivery is a high chopper towards first. Peterson waits for a good hop. He has plenty of time to take it to the bag and does himself for out number 2. So 2 very quick outs for Kenny Stewart with the bases empty and 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th. The batter will now be Henderson Perez. There is some action rolling in that Missoula pen. Dan Swain, a hard-throwing right-hander, is up. So we might see Swain come on for the 9th. The way La Rosa threw in the last half frame, sure, it's a decision for Michael Schlack. La Rosa just blew the doors off the Mustangs in that inning. As Perez takes one outside, 1-0. Striking out the side was La Rosa in that 8th inning. 1-0 the count to Perez, who reached on a hit by pitches last time. Pitch from Stewart, sinking fastball, misses the outside, make the count 2-0. 3 runs on 7 hits for Missoula, 2 runs on 5 hits for the Mustangs. 3 more outs to get to try to fight back into this one. The 2-0 to Perez is fouled away to the right. The only question now is how large will the deficit be for Billings going into the top of the 9th? Will Missoula be able to get something going here with 2 outs to try to give themselves a little bit more breathing room, or will it be just the 1 run? Will be the 5, 6, 7 spots in the order coming up for Billings in the next half frame. 2-1 pitch to Perez is taken inside off speed, misses the inside corner. So the count now 3 balls and a strike to Henderson Perez. Jared Akins would get a chance to swing it in this frame if Perez can find his way aboard here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Kenny Stewart set and throws the 3-1. And Perez chases one off the outside, make the count full. Pretty close pitch on the outer half. Can't say unequivocally it would have been called ball 4. Looked to be a bit off the plate. But now the count is full at 3-2. Stewart sets at the belt, kicks and delivers. The payoff. This one is taken outside for ball 4. Pretty close to the outside part of the plate. Was hoping Perez would go after that pitch again. But Stewart has put a man on in this half inning. That will send Jared Akins into the box. Akins launched one back in the 3rd inning, a triple. Since then has struck out twice. He's 1 for 3 overall. Akins would take another swing like he had earlier in the game. Looks like we're going to now see a pinch runner for Perez at first. Looks like that's Boning, yes. So a pinch hitter coming on for Missoula in this half frame. Running for Henderson Perez will be Brandon Boning. Saw him start a couple of games at second base last week in the absence of McLean O'Connor. Boning much better speed on the bags than Perez with 2 outs. Maybe that will be a factor in this half frame, as Aikens will look to kick off this at-bat against Stewart. Setting here with Boning on at first. The pitch to Aikens is a fastball that misses the outside, 1-0. All of a sudden, Stewart kind of struggling with some control. Got 2 very quick outs, the first 2 batters of this inning. Couple of ground ball outs. Now running into a little bit of trouble here. Bottom 8. Throw over to first to check on Boning. Dives back in without a tag from Peterson. A ball and no strikes the count. Mention it will be the 5, 6, 7 spots, so a pretty good trio of hitters in the next half for Billings. 1-0 delivery on the way is low and into Aikens to make the count 2-0. Top of the order would come up once again if Jared Aikens can find his way aboard. 2 balls and no strikes is the count to Aikens. Stewart is set, delivers the 2-0. This one is called a strike on the outside. Little bit of a delayed call in that instance, but Stewart does get the call to bring this to a 2-1 count. Pretty close pitch on the outside. Boning, fair size lead. Peterson right on the bag with them. Runner takes off. Pitch is low and in. No, called strike. Throw down to second base, and Boning beat the throw. Not by much. Barth got a tag down, but that was a pretty close play at second base. And Jim Ergelman's going to come out of the dugout to have a word about that call. Riggleman quickly making his way out. That was a bang-bang play at second base. Very close. Surprised to see that pitch called a strike. It looked to be low and in from my vantage point. But the count is 2-2 now on Aikens, as they're going to stick with the call on the field, it looks like, without any type of conference from the umpires. But Jim Riggleman speaking his case in that close play at second. Now Aikens with a man on in scoring position, 2 outs, has a chance. The hit to potentially extend the lead. It stands at 1 right now at 3-2 in the 8th. 2-2 is the count to Jared Aikens. Stewart set up on the third base side of the rubber, comes home. This one check swing and a ball down below the knees. Aikens goes around for strike 3. And the Paddleheads once again are turned away in this half inning. Lil Van Halen is rocking on the PA. That means one thing. The Newton, Massachusetts native Dan Swain is about to take the ball for the Missoula Paddleheads here in the bottom half of the 9th inning in a one-run game. This will be a save situation for Swain. Only one save recorded by this Missoula staff this year was from Jason Newman. This is Swain's 5th appearance coming out of the pen. 0-1 on the year is Swain. 4 innings pitched, 10 Ks for the right-hander. He's faced Billings once, gave up a run in the 2nd game of the year. And he will face Jackson Raper to start things off. 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up for the Mustangs, looking for 1 run in the 9th. Swain, a very hard-throwing right-hander. First pitch from Swain here is a line drive into right center field, hit pretty well. Moving over is Sparks. He's not going to get it as this one rolls up close to the wall. Raper easily striding into second base. That is a leadoff double for Jackson Raper to start things off in this half inning. So a great way to start for the Billings Mustangs. A tying run immediately gets into scoring position on the double from Raper. And that's Billings' first hit since all the way back in the 5th inning. Last time the Mustangs collected a hit was the solo home run by Taylor back in the 5th before that double from Raper. The batter will now be Jacob Klein. And I would imagine with first base open, there's a very good chance that Klein will be put on for free. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like initially they're going to pitch to him, though. Klein 0 for 2 to this point. Has been a dangerous hitter all year, though, in the first 12 games for the Mustangs. First pitch to him is a high fly ball in the park, right field. Coming in a bit is Sparks. He puts it away. Raper bluffs to third, and there comes a throw from Sparks as Thompson comes off the bag to make the play. That's an unproductive out and a very big bat sent back to the dugout. So maybe that's one check mark in this half inning for Missoula. Getting out of this mess here in the 9th to send Klein back to the dugout. Nick Olch will now be the batter. Pretty productive night for Olch, a pair of singles. 2 for 3 overall. Swain looking to pitch around a leadoff double. 1-run lead in the top of the 9th for Missoula. Olch waiting on the first pitch. Here it comes. This one a sharp grounder right to O'Connor. On one hop, he's got it. Throws to first in time. 2 down in the top of the 9th. That one bounced up perfectly to the glove of O'Connor. And just like that, the Mustangs are down to their last out. And it'll be left up to Brian Pereira. We've touched on how quiet this bottom spot in the order has been in this series. Wouldn't now be a good time for the Mustangs, that part in the order, to come through. Runner at third now is Raper, moved up on that play to second. First pitch to Pereira is a breaking ball that just misses high. That power curve from Swain did not find the zone. Fans making some noise here in the top of the 9th. Looking for the Paddleheads to hang on in this inning. Win game 2 of the series. 1-0 with 2 outs. Swain set up high. Here it comes, 1-0. Swing and a miss at a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Evens up the count at 1. Pereira 0 for 3. Bounced in to an out at first his last time, hit right to Gatewood. The 3 unassisted. Ball and a strike, the count in a 3-2 game in the top of the 9th. Swain crunched over, looking in for the sign from Davis. He's got it. Target in from Brenton Davis. Pereira waits. Swain sets, throws. Breaking ball, low and in for ball 2. 2 ball, 1 strike count. That curve from Swain is such a tough pitch to handle. has such dramatic downward break on it. Pereira, probably best thing he could have done with that pitch on the inside was let it go by. 2-1 to Brian Pereira. The tying run at third with 2 outs. Count 2-1. Swain is set. Delivers the pitch. This one, a line shot foul. Look out, as that one snuck over the protective netting on the first base side. That one went rolling all the way past Jack's pub on the first base side. 2-2. Fans, some of them starting to rise to their feet here in Missoula, looking for the final out. Mustangs are down to their last strike in the top of the 9th. 2-2 the count to Pereira. Barth would be next if Pereira gets aboard. 2-2, the cowbell's rolling. Swain throws. Fastball, strike 3 called on the inside corner. That's your ball game. Leadoff double to start it, but Raper is stranded at third, and Missoula has won their 3rd consecutive game and 2nd in this series. They claim a series win, can look to break out the brooms once again tomorrow in Game 3. What an effort by the Missoula bullpen. They hold the line over the final 4 innings and come away winners, 3-2. Back to wrap it up right after this. Well, and what was a very tight ball game all the way through. Largest lead for Missoula was 1 run, but the Paddlehead bullpen made it stand for the final 4 innings of action, coming away with a 3-2 victory on this Thursday.